The first blockbuster trade just went down minutes ago. Ben Bishop is now a member of the Los Angeles Kings. That is a scary goaltending tandem there over there in LA. So the official trade was the Kings deal Peter Budaj, Eric Cernak, who is a defensive prospect, a 2017 7th round pick, and a conditional pick to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Ben Bishop, and a 2017 5th round pick. Now the conditions on the pick coming to Tampa Bay, they haven't been released yet, and I don't know what they are. Could be another 5th round pick, could be something small, or it could potentially be a 3rd or a 2nd round pick if Bishop re-signs with the LA Kings. Again, this is all speculation. I'm not sure on what the conditions are. Another big thing to note is that Tampa Bay retains 20% of Ben Bishop's salary. So we throw this into a GM mode trade simulation. Eric Cernak has a decent amount of potential, but he's only 60 overall, 19 years old, drafted in the 2nd round. He doesn't have that much potential, and Peter Budaj is only 79 overall in the game. He should be more like 85 overall considering how he's played this year. Going from Tampa to LA, they say absolutely yes, we will take that deal. Now for the LA Kings offering this deal to the Tampa Bay Lightning, they get upset. They are offended. They say your offer is woefully insufficient, and they are not even going to consider this. Obviously the GM mode potentials aren't really exactly how they are in real life, so one was kind of lopsided and the other one they said yes. So kind of funny how that works out. The LA Kings want that deal and Tampa says no. So a little look here on Ben Bishop's trade history. He was acquired from Ottawa for a 2nd round pick. He was only there for a year, and then they traded him in one of the most lopsided trades in NHL history. Tampa Bay stole Bishop in exchange for Corey Conacher and a 4th round pick. Yeah, who's Corey Conacher? Pretty lopsided trade there, but this is his 3rd time being dealt. Now obviously he's a member of the Los Angeles Kings. Now currently the LA Kings are not in a playoff spot. They're a few points out now. Obviously having Bishop now adds that security in net behind Jonathan Quick. Now does this mean they don't have enough trust in Jonathan Quick? He was just injured for 5 months, and then Peter Budaj had to come in for those 5 or 6 months. Now I don't think people expected Budaj to play as good as he did. Now obviously in Tampa Bay there they have their future in Andrei Vasilevskiy, but I think as of right now I don't think it's even close. I think Peter Budaj is the #1 starting goalie in Tampa Bay right now. Vasilevskiy's still young, he's very, very good, but I think that having a nice 1-2 punch there in Vasilevskiy and Peter Budaj, that's pretty good as well. Obviously it's not as flashy as Quick and Bishop, but having Vasilevskiy and Peter Budaj, that's pretty decent too. Now going to Tampa Bay, that Eric Cernak kid, definitely not a bad prospect. He's 6'3", 221, only 19 years old. Yeah, it sounds like he's a defensive defenseman. I don't know a whole lot about this kid, but definitely a decent defensive prospect for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, does this really make a whole lot of sense for LA? Kind of came out of left field. If I was the LA Kings, I wouldn't have went all in on another elite goaltender. I mean, if you want to classify Bishop in the elite category, but I wouldn't have went with that route. I would have went with a Miller or a Halak or a decent backup goalie. I don't know why they went ahead and traded for a big goalie like Ben Bishop. In my eyes, he's a simple rent-a-player. He's not going to be a member of a team on July 1st, going to be a UFA. Now, where does he go after that? This is kind of just page 1 to this big giant Ben Bishop book. Does he go to Vegas? What happens? But in my eyes, the winner of this trade is no question the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yes, they got rid of their starting goalie, but they get Peter Budaj, who is playing really good this year. Now, I'm not saying Tampa Bay is going to be a playoff team or going to, make a deep run in the postseason, but Budaj is a really good goalie, and Vasilevskiy is probably going to take over the starting role for next year. Plus, they get a decent prospect in this Eric Cernak kid and a pick. So, you know what? I don't love the move for LA. Yeah, they get a big name player with a lot of cap, who's probably not going to be a member of their team next year unless they trade Jonathan Quick, which I can't see that happening. So, I want to get your guys' thoughts, just my initial quick thoughts here. In my eyes, he's a rental, and I hope it works out for LA, but in my eyes, it's not the greatest move. Kind of out of left field for LA, but that's just my initial thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video when the next trade happens, which is probably going to be in 10 minutes because all these trades happen before the deadline, and the deadline is usually pretty boring. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.